shoot. All right. So cool. We tried not. We are in December 2021, and just 2 more days to go for this year to end, and we are stepping into 2022. So this session that we've gathered together is for letting go of the stuff that we don't need to carry on from here onwards, which is all of 2021, and I think a lot of 2020 as well, because for 2 years we've really bottled up a lot of stuff and haven't really released it. So the idea of having this session is to just let go of whatever we that's not serving us. Now that could mean many things, and we'll come to what does that many things mean. But when in our body there's a lot of storage in terms of memories, in terms of emotions, in terms of thoughts, and in terms of beliefs. And when we don't process that, our tendency is to say, okay, we'll look at it later. Oh, I've forgotten that. I don't have the memory of it and stuff like that. And I don't anyway remember this, or things don't hurt me anymore. Very often we end up saying these kind of things, right? But quite frankly, these things are still stored somewhere in our body and they're still hurting us. And today's work, all we're going to do is to take out things which you may not know of, which you may know of, but is still stored in your body and is not needed anymore. Now, it may be stored in your body as emotions, it may be stored in your body as thoughts, it may be stored in your body as beliefs, it may just be stored in your body as a memory and the pain attached to it, or anything that whatever else there is. So that's what letting go is all about. Now, why are we even doing letting go? Why is there really a need to do let go? Nature is such that if you see every process, if you look at trees, for the tree to get new leaves, it lets go of the old one first. So we first have fall and then do we have spring after that. It's not the first spring and then they together come out like it's all together. The old ones are together and the new ones are with them alongside. They actually first make space. So letting go is about making space. And likewise, if you look at anything, we are always making space. In nature, everything is making space. Now look at water. Water has a whole cycle. Water evaporates, becomes clouds, and then pours down. So in this process, the land has made space for water to come in, and then water comes back again, nourishes the soil, and then eventually it goes back up. So it's this the whole cycle that goes on in nature, which is with everything and everyone. Any living being is going through that cycle. All the nature made stuff is going through that stuff. Now we as human beings, what we tend to do is we feel that we don't have to go through any letting go. We are good, we are super strong, and we love calling ourselves strong. Frankly, we just love it. We love the idea of saying, oh, I'm so damn strong, I can carry this off, I can take this off, and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, the what happens is that most often all of this is stored in our body, but we haven't realized it. Allow me a moment. Okay. Yeah, sorry. So we haven't released any of this stuff from our system. Now, why do we need to release that is because we are making space, just like fall is making space for spring to come, which means anything and everything in our body and our system, in our heart, in our mind that is stored, which is not helping us anymore, it needs to go out in order for something beautiful to come in. So we keep wishing for things to happen, we keep wishing for dreams to come true, we keep wishing for so many things, but do we make space? Did you make space? That's the question to ask, and that's precisely what we're going to do, because we are entering a new year. And after almost 2 years of pandemic, all of us have gone through so many emotions and so many things that at points there was difficulty to even process what we were dealing with. And when we didn't deal with it, it got stored. It didn't leave, it got stored. So now what we're going to do is to just allow that to go in from our system. So that's what our work for today is. And how are we going to make this? It'll be emotional, it'll be mental, it'll be physical, and it'll be energetic. And this is how we're going to release space from our system and create space for good things to enter. Now, emotions, tell me, how are you guys? So emotions are just, it's not thought. It's just right in your body and your heart, how you're feeling. Yeah, okay. So how are you feeling in your body and your heart? And all of you, just type a word in the chat and tell me, how are you feeling? What are you feeling right now? If you were to look at 2021, And if you were to think of any way it's making you feel heavy, any way it's making you feel difficult, what would you call that emotion? What is that emotion? What is that word? What word will you give it? Take a moment, sink into yourself, look at the year from Jan to Feb to March and onwards towards the second half of the year. And as you look at it, just see what word comes to your mind. So Chirag says despair, Ganga saying restless. What else? What else did you feel? One word that describes most of your year. Status quo, Kanika. Guys, please have your cameras on. It's fun to see people. I don't want to talk to myself. Natural is saying gratitude. Oh, beautiful. I like that. And if there was an emotion which was negative in any way, what would that be? Chirag, would you mind switching on your camera if that's okay? Hmm. So, what would that emotion be? I think most of you have it. For me, it was a lot of Ganga is also saying anger. For me, it was a lot of sorrow, so much grief and sorrow, lots and lots and lots of grief and sorrow, which was stored for years and years and years, which I kind of processed in this year of 2021. And that was heavy sorrow coming from many, many years of keeping it inside this body, inside this heart. And now when you think of this entire journey of 2021, how would you say did you feel most of the time? Now, this is a feeling you summarized, but how was it that you felt most of the time? Like most often, did you feel tired? Did you feel exhausted? Did you feel lost? What did you feel most of the year? Like these are words I'm coming up with, but then you would have your own words. There was a lot of anger and self-worth. Okay, Ganga's gratitude. Nikita says fatigue. Rachel says felt hopeful, beautiful. Chirag, fatigue and irritation. And now, when you're able to tune this into your heart right now, how much of that emotion you feel is still there in somewhere in your anywhere, just anywhere in your body? If you really just take a moment, close your eyes, and think through it, do you feel there's any emotion of that that's there in your system still? Yes. Okay. Not really. Okay. That's a good thing. And what kind of thoughts were you processing? What kind of thoughts were you processing for most of the year? Ganga's mostly grateful, yes. Okay. So, if you do, you guys have your papers with you right now? And I'll tell you a few things to write down. It'll be easier for you to kind of process these thoughts that are coming up. And why are we? So, please, any thoughts that come up, please allow them to come up because it's time for them to go. Anything that's surfacing for you right now, whatever it may be in terms of negative feelings, emotions, thoughts, anywhere you're feeling anything for yourself or anyone else, allow it to come because this is a safe space for us to right now release it. All that you see right now is just going to go out of your system. So you may feel triggered. I'm holding this space for you, sending you lots of healing love and energy. All you need to do is to allow these emotions to come up so that we can let them go. And yeah, so if your papers and pens are ready, I have a few questions to tell you in terms of writing. And we'll go through it one by one by one. Give me a thumbs up when you guys are ready with this. Okay. Good. Kanika, you ready with it? Chirag, I can't see you, so I don't know unless you let me know about it. Good. Are we ready? So, shall I give you the first thing to think through and write? So write down first of all the word that you used, which you summed up in a negative sense for 2021. The word that really kind of surfaced for you. Write that down first. And then write down how did you feel hurt this year? What hurt you the most? How did you feel hurt? You don't need to write.
I was talking on mute. So Divya, you want us to use loose sheets or we can use notebook also?
No, loose sheets. And I'll tell you what you'll be doing with this. So that's why this is loose sheets.
Yeah, so I was actually talking on mute and asking, do I have to tear it off or something like that and all that? So do I keep those things that way ready with me? I mean,
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
I need to keep the loose sheets, which I need to tear off or something like that. That way, papers or spiral paper, something.
Anything that you can dispose of.
Dispose of. Okay.
Yeah. Anything that you can let go. Yeah.
Your first question, Divya.
Yeah. First, how did you feel hurt this year? What hurt you this year the most? The first thing you're writing about is how did you feel hurt this year? What hurt you the most?
What hurt me the most in this year is what you want.
2021, what hurt you the most? Yes, exactly.
Okay.
What hurt you the most?
Okay. How do I? Actually, my laptop doesn't allow me to be on Zoom policies. I mean, I'm not using the personal laptop and phone. I'm not able to fix. Sorry for this
That's all.
irritation.
Yeah, feel comfortable. Yeah. Okay, so who next, if you guys are done, first is what hurt you the most? How did you feel most hurt? And then when we move forward, would be who hurt you the most? And it can be more than one person. It can actually also be yourself. Sometimes when you did not stand up for yourself, sometimes when you did not listen to your heart, anything like that. So if you feel you hurt yourself, please feel free to write that as well. And also express emotions. So say that if I did not stand up for myself, I felt very angry with myself. I didn't want to do this anyway, but still this happened. So stuff like those, so that it's evident in terms of what you felt along with it. It's very important to release your emotions and thoughts around it. And if it made you feel in any way, I am, I'm just taking an example. If you didn't stand up for yourself and you were angry with yourself and you felt, oh, I am dumb, I always behave like this, I don't have any sense of standing up for myself, I don't have the confidence, so then write that as well. So observe the situation, the feeling associated to it, and the belief or the thought associated to it, which was the primary thought that was keeping you there. more than.
And also why I did not stand up for myself.
Yes, of course, exactly, because you're right now trying to let go of the story which was there, right? It's a story attachment, and that's what we're saying. So we're saying situation, story, emotion, and then the thought or belief associated to it. Or maybe say, I feel weak, I am weak, I'm weaker than those people against whom I could not stand up. So anything like that, any emotions which are weighing you down in any way, be it the story, be it the emotions, be it the beliefs or the thoughts surrounding it. And once you guys have done that, we'll also, once you have done that, give me a thumbs up so I know we can move to the next part. Okay. So if you've covered how did you feel hurt, if you've covered who hurt you, if you've covered did you hurt yourself, let's go to another aspect of you being hurt. Now this, okay, we are going to talk of something which may resonate with you, which may not resonate with you, but also just stay with the feeling. And I'm asking the question, any feeling that come up, write it down, okay? How did God hurt you this year? How was God the villain in your life? What wrong did God do to you? Write that down. And now when we talk about God, it could be a figure you associate with in any of your religious places. It could be the universal energy you relate with. It doesn't have to be necessarily the way we call God. It can be anything. It can be creator, it can be universe. Whatever you understand God as, it is not to do with anybody else's understanding. In moments when you felt like asking yourself, why did you do this to me, God? Those kind of moments.
But if there is no such answer, is there a way that a person won't have an answer? I don't have an answer. I never asked this question. Why this happened to me?
You speak to Lord Krishna, right? So
Yeah, but I never asked him, or I have never
yeah,
have the.
it's okay.
Yeah, so,
I'm just giving you areas right now. My idea is to give areas to explore where your stuff is stored. So just
okay.
giving that space.
So then we can leave it blank.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
If you didn't feel this way, it's fine.
Okay.
And anything like I'm stupid or I don't have brains, anything that's coming up, anytime maybe in your office situations, in your, anywhere you felt that your colleagues maybe took advantage of you, maybe your relatives said something which was not really right for them to have said that to you, maybe, stuff like that. A lot of such things that happen, sometimes we just take it in the stride thinking that that's not impacted us, but when we now look back, sometimes these moments will stand up, pop up in our head, oh yeah, somebody said this to me, sometimes like that, and you wouldn't really realize they were stored. So right now we're just releasing all of that. And it goes back to January. You might just be thinking of last few months. Let's go back to January of 2021. When the pandemic was, we were expecting December 2020 to be the last of pandemic, and January again turned out. Did you get angry on the whole pandemic? Did you get a really crazy feeling that, this was triggering you, this was making you crazy, sitting at home, these lockdowns, and constantly the virus, changing forms and shapes and becoming stronger by the day and stuff like that, and what was happening? And then vaccine coming in, lot of conversations around vaccine. Did you get triggered by vaccine? Did you have government, any hatred related to government, any thoughts related to government? Did you say, oh, they did not do this fine? Did you blame the medical system? Did they hurt you in any way? And maybe any people who passed away that you know, or you don't know, maybe you just heard of somebody who passed away and you were like, okay, this shouldn't have happened. So a lot of such things that, and it could be related to animals, it could be related to people, it could be related to home, it could be related to facilities. Lots of things like this. So we are exploring avenues. Look at your workspace, look at your home space. Is there anything in the house? Like you look at a certain piece of furniture, you look at a certain decoration and you get annoyed with it every time. What is it reminding you of? What thoughts does it trigger for you? Maybe, most lot of us also did not have house helpers for a fair period of time. So did those stack of clothes bother you? Did they get on your nerves? So, explore yourself, find those avenues, find where you would have been triggered, where you really were annoyed and you were feeling hurt. You were like, you felt you were not supported. You felt you were not loved. You felt rejected. You felt dejected in any way. So explore your emotions. Just explore wherever, whatever you felt overall. Did you have grocery issues this year? I'm not sure if anybody had, but then let's explore if you had grocery issues this year, that some things are not found, you could get some stuff, anything, just explore that. Fuel prices rising. Anybody got triggered with fuel prices rising? So think about it, write about that. What else? I'm giving you things to think about and explore so that you know where to go with your own body, where to explore stuff. Did you hurt someone? Did you hurt someone? Did you say something that you regret? Did you say something that you said you think you shouldn't have said this? You shouldn't have done this? Do you blame yourself for that in any way? Do you feel, oh no, this is not the right thing? I am not that person. I did this, but I shouldn't have done this, Write all that down. What feelings is that bringing up for you and what made you do that? And this is not to blame you in any way. This is just to say that this is the emotion I have in my body and I'm ready to release that. So there is this book by David R. Hawkins, which is called Letting Go. It's the pathway to surrender. Now, this book, why am I sharing this book with you? Is this book talks about emotional chart. What does that mean? That we basically, as human beings, moving from fear to love, and there is certain spectrum of emotions that we go through from moving from fear to love. And it's not that from one fine day we will jump from fear to love. We move through it's a staircase. So we move through one emotion after another, and they kind of transmute into one emotion to the next, to the next, to the next, eventually to lead to love. And that happens in each situation, each moment of a life. We start with fear and we kind of switch from there, and eventually, as we've done a lot of this work, we mostly present in love. We do oscillate back. None of us are here who will be 100% of the times in love. So please know that anytime when we talk about love or impact compassion, none of us are going to be there 100% of the time. Everybody on this planet gets negative frequency emotions. The idea is that how fast or how soon are you able to recognize that emotion, and how fast are you able to transmute that to a better frequency emotion. So it's not about you not feeling them. Just know, if you're angry, it's fine. If you're sad, it's fine. If you're grieving, it's fine. If you're sad, if you're really resentful, it's fine. But what does that mean? Don't hold up yourself over that place. Find a place to transmute it and move to the next emotion, which is a little higher frequency from here. So we won't be going through the whole chart right now. What I meant to bring to you here was that our emotions are a scale. It's a staircase. So always, every time you look at an emotion, just don't think, oh my god, I'm angry, I must be this angry person, I'm always angry and stuff like that. No, you're not that person. You're right now just feeling anger. You can transmute that anger into something else and take it towards love. So we're exploring a few emotions. The lowest in the scale, and these are triggers again for you to identify right now. The lowest in this scale is shame. How in this entire year did you feel ashamed of yourself? Did you feel shameful in any way? It could be for an act of yours, it could be for some words that you said out, it could be for a behavior, it could be maybe for the way you looked at some point in time, it could be for the ways you were in a relationship to anybody, it could be just for the whole way maybe your life appeared to you. You just felt so ashamed of your life sometime. How did the emotion of shame come up for you? How did you feel ashamed in any way in your life during the year of 2021? And of course, anything else is surfacing for you, please write that down. It's surfacing means it's here for you, it to go to leave your body already. So how did you feel the emotion of shame? And most often when we are young, we find our parents saying that you should be ashamed of yourself for this. Did that kind of thing come up to your mind at some point, saying, oh, maybe my parents had this at some point and today I'm doing that kind of thing, should I be ashamed of myself? And the next emotion, which is a little above shame, the shame is the lowest emotion, which means at any point when you are feeling shameful, the first aspect of it would be to go a little above that, a little above that. What is the next emotion? The next emotion is guilt. Did you feel guilty in any way during this year? Or anything else that's coming up in your mind that's ready to go? So please write it down. Just don't have to restrict yourself to the calendar year. We're saying this year because we're releasing 2021 baggage from here right now. So anyway, you felt guilty. Did you feel that you did something wrong? Did you feel that you kind of put someone down? Did you feel that you should have done better, you could have done better, and you feel guilty that you did not do that? Do you feel guilty that you made certain decisions in the past which are not very healthy for you, but they are kind of showing the, their colors right now? Do you feel guilty for your parents? Do you feel guilty for yourself? Do you feel guilty for your children? Do you feel guilty for your spouse? Do you feel guilty for your siblings? Do you feel guilty for maybe your surroundings? Do you feel guilty you're not able to contribute to this world? There could be guilt surfacing for anything. People are saying that, there are lots of things happening. Yes, there are a lot of things going on in the world which are good and which are not as good. But sometimes when we hear news of things not as good, we start feeling guilty because you're not able to contribute. So did you feel guilty that way hearing any kind of news or anything coming up to you? So write that down. How did that make you feel? What thoughts did it bring up for you? Or did you feel guilty for yourself that you did not stand up for yourself? Maybe when you were supposed to, or you should have, you didn't stand up for yourself. Did you feel guilty for that? So any kind of guilt that's arising, any from anywhere, in any way, maybe in your office you feel I could have performed better. In your workspace, wherever you are, it could be your business, it could be your office, whatever you do in your profession, if you do. Did you feel guilty in any way? Or did someone make you feel guilty? Maybe you were not feeling guilty, but maybe someone came and told you something that, you didn't do that right. And you just for a moment felt that emotion that they were trying to tell you. Maybe it wasn't right for you, but you still felt it because someone said it. And the next emotion that we have is called apathy. Apathy is a sense of hopelessness when you've lost all hope for life, all hope for yourself. Apathy is an emotion where you are not depressed, but you are almost there. So when did you feel you were completely hopeless in your life? You felt that there's nothing ahead here. This is a tunnel and there is no light at the end of it. What other words can we have for that? Yeah, playing dead or being a drain. You felt you were too drained, or you were completely feeling immobilized. Your feelings were pretty much overwhelming you. So when did you feel like that? Was there a situation when that happened? So I've heard a lot of people talk about this when the second wave started, and while they were expecting this thing to end, it actually started all over again with much more intensity. So this hopelessness that we don't know what's lying ahead of us was very high at that point in time, which was probably around the early this year, early to mid. So anything that surfaced up for you, did you see people go, leave, pass away, and in what way hopelessness or draining feeling come into your life? Was anybody financially feeling drained? this period has been tough on people. Maybe your earnings went down, maybe you were not able to fulfill the either the basic or the more needs that were needed to be fulfilled. Not just in emotional way, now not just in physical space, but what there could be a financial draining feeling, the hopelessness that um, you just don't see any light out there. It's just a tunnel that's never ending. So any such feeling where it was dark and dark and dark, you just didn't know how to get out of it. And the next emotion that comes up is grief, sorrow. Did you see yourself losing yourself anytime? Losing, sometimes we don't even feel we are losing ourselves. We just feel a part of ourselves, a part of us is gone. Maybe somebody passed away. Maybe somebody had a breakup. Maybe somebody had a divorce. My divorce happened this year. So, yes, there was part of grieving that was happening. So, um, even though I was moving towards a positive outlook of life, but there was grieving. There was grieving for the time that was. There was grieving for me that was as a wife. There was grieving for me as a part of that member of the family. So, and hence I said this year was full of sorrow and grief for me. Very, very heavy on grief and sorrow because I released a lot of stored emotions from me. So, I'm sharing an example so that it's in case it brings up some things for you. Did you see any kind of families falling apart at this point, because when things are tough, we do see relationships going tense, we do see families falling apart and things coming in between in any way, so did you see any of that? Did you have a lot of sorrow around all of those things? Did you see your health going down in any way? And there was grief about it that, when I was younger, I had better health. Maybe when I was here, or maybe when I was this person, I was better health. But did you in any way feel that you lost your health, you lost your wealth, or you lost people? Did you lose yourself? Was there any sorrow in any way that you were processing? And sometimes, the sorrow is not about really physically losing someone. Sometimes it's just about emotionally losing someone. The people are still there in your life, but you don't connect with them anymore. So the sorrow is really not about you physically, that person has left your life, but sometimes it's just that you can't anymore connect to them. So there is this loss of that relationship, that feeling that you held close to your heart and now is not present anymore. So you feel the loss of that. Sometimes there is loss of just old memories. We're not living them today, but then there is just loss of old memories with the person who's not with you anymore. Sometimes you may have built some dreams. Maybe you thought 2021 will look like this for me. There may be sorrow surfacing from, or grief surfacing from, oh, this is not how it looked right now to me. So I'm replying to anything in the chats on the side. Don't think I'm doing any other work, okay?
No, I think you're really brave there, Divya, when you had to mention and share that your personal incidents in the life with all the strangers here. It makes you a very brave person, I must say. I appreciate that. Yes, thank you.
Thank you. I also had another moment that I can share right now. I don't know if that brings up anything. I have a son who's a preteen right now, and I moved houses. And when I moved houses, he could not relate to my new place. And because he could not relate to my new place, he actually said he hated me and he wanted to leave and he wanted to go to his father's house, and it was devastating because I had just moved out. I was with my, I was by myself, and all you look up to is your kids when you're moving through that phase of life. And here tells your kids that I don't want to live with you, I hate you, and I want to go. This was temporary. I knew inside of me, I was very sure it's not the truth of the relationship, but there was so much sorrow and grief in actually, because I let him go. I actually let him go to his father's place for a fairly long period of time to allow him to absorb into that emotion, because I didn't want to be forcing him into living with me. There was so much grief because for a perceived outcome, it wasn't an outcome, it was a perceived outcome that I've lost him forever and I would never see him again. These were just perceived outcomes of which I was processing a lot of grief and sorrow. So why I'm bringing these examples is not in any way to bring sympathy for myself. I'm just trying to tell you that you could be processing so many such emotions which you don't realize on a day-to-day basis, because we tend to escape. We tend to put ourselves in saying, okay, let's scroll through the mobile, let's watch TV, let's get busy in the work. And these emotions are not addressed, and until they are addressed, they are not going to leave. Anytime you feel the emotions are going to leave because you said, sleep over them, it's not leaving. Yes, Nachal, please tell me. Here I am. I can see your raised hand.
I totally relate to what you're saying, because I teach children who are in the in the teenage years, right? And I have had some students who come from separated families, and in their writings you understand what they've written. When they write a story, a narrative, you understand where the narrative is coming from. So there is a lot of the way they respond in the class. I'm an online teacher, so the way they respond in class and the way the students are coming up now. If it is a broken family, you can actually even if I didn't know about it, I can feel that emotion from the child when they respond to me in the class. I can figure that out, and I really want God to help us, give us a tool to make things normal for them. But I don't think I still have reached that place yet. I'm trying my best to have a differentiated learning environment in my class, but it's not happening. So that is maybe one of the griefs that I have. It's not a grief. I'm still hopeful that there is a solution at the end of the road. There is a tunnel, right? You see light at the end of the tunnel. So I'm looking at that. I'm not empathizing with those children, but I know that something has put them in that situation. It's their karma or whatever it is, right? So they have done something. That is why they're not living with two parents, or whatever, or it could be one of the parents' decision. It could be best for both of them. For like in your case that you're saying, it's a best decision that yes, sometimes we need to break away. But for me, I've had luckily I've had a life which has kept me away from my husband for most of the time. And when I listen to Sudha Murthy's stories, her interviews, because I encourage my students to read her stories. So one day I just happened to stumble upon her interview. Sorry if I'm taking a lot of time for this. So, and she said that most of the time she doesn't stay with her husband. So that is why so it happened with me. My husband was half the time not with us. When my children had 10th board, 12th board, I was there all by my mother-in-law was so supportive, and she was there by my side, right? So it was 2013, I remember. So one of them had 10th boards and the other had 12th board, and that's the time one needs to step back from your vocation and help your students, or hold their hand or whatever they need help for. But he wasn't there. So that way I would say he was posted out. He would come on the weekends, or maybe after a couple of weeks he would be at home to be with them. So that way I can say that's how the marriage has sailed through. Everybody has differences. Yes, there are no two people, even brothers, sisters, or even two sisters will have differences. You cannot stay together throughout your life. But these are the distractions, like you mentioned, seeing the mobile. These are distractions. You can just step away from that moment. And I've learned this from somewhere, maybe the elders talk, whenever you're angry, one should not open the mouth. Instead of breaking up the relationship, you can save that relationship. Whenever you get angry, any small thing perturbs us, just zip your lips, and it's an imaginary zip, right? So that is what I would do. And that is how I would understand, as of now, because I still have differences. Yes, I am not a person, a very easy person to live with, or I mean, yes, no, it happens with everybody. Yes, it happens with all of us. It happens. But when you said about letting go, I still cannot figure out what can I let go of. I'm still unable to figure out. Yes, I've let go of my ego. I've let go of everything. Whatever. I'm not the body. I'm not the mind. This is what Sadhguru says, or whatever. So many things one tries, but I still cannot zero down one point that you said let go. Be it shame or guilt or apathy or grief. I'm not able to write
That's all right.
anything.
So usually, our mind is in different states at different times, and
Yeah.
so it's not necessary that everything will surface for you right away. It will surface when it will surface, and when it's the right time to surface. What means is that why do we put questions in our mind is so that we find those answers. So when right now you mostly put those questions in your mind, and you will be taken to those questions, or rather answers, I would say, when the right time in your mind is, because it's really not that all the answers don't surface right away. They wouldn't,
Okay. Yeah.
they would come in when we are ready to really acknowledge them, we're ready to see them. Most often it's our readiness sometimes which we don't see a lot of stuff, and then eventually at some point we feel okay, we are safe, because the safety is a very important feeling, and I think right now that's part of what we will be coming to. But at this point, what I can just summarize in this is that we all go through all these emotions. We do.
Yes. Yes.
Absolutely do. And healing these emotions and letting these emotions go is a lifelong journey, because we are humans. We tend to come to these emotions face to face every now and then. The
Correct.
only idea in this conversation is to bring them to surface and find a process to bring them to surface, so that's easier for us to accept these emotions and let them go, because most commonly we have been taught to reject them. Like you said, when there is anger, don't speak. But what I would suggest is at that point, maybe not speak, but transmute that anger at some point in time and find a way to express yourself. Because if you've stored that anger without speaking, it's going to show up someday or the other. It could show up in any possible form, including a disease, not just throwing things out, right? So the that's the point that we will be arriving at right now. But then I'm just sharing what that summary of this conversation. And the other point, one point I would definitely like to say is that it's very common for families who get separated in any way to call them broken families. I would really like to differ in that case, because those families who've decided to now call this off were broken before they were called off, because now they are becoming a whole family when they are trying to live in happiness and joy now, because they could not live in happiness and joy together. That was a family which was already broken. But the way when people move out, it is actually creating two healthy families from one unhealthy family, right? So that's just one thing that I wanted to bring to your notice, because as a teacher you will meet a lot of kids, not just now and always, you would keep meeting these children. uh, when we refer to them as coming from broken families, it actually breaks them. So it's just, I'm just saying that it's a share that's coming from me. I've lived that life, so I'm just kind of sharing that. But however, so if everybody's done with grief, we could move on to the next emotion, which is called fear. What do you fear? What all do you fear in life? Fear of small places, fear of dark, fear of snakes, fear of reptiles, fear of your family members, fear of your parents, fear of your children, fear of someone losing someone, fear of hurting someone, fear of being hurt, fear of being exposed. A lot of people have that fear as well. Even though we've not done anything wrong, we just feel, oh my God, one fine day we'll be exposed. But there's really nothing to get exposed. Um, what else? What else are you fearful of? What do you get scared of? What fear is very easily felt in the body, like anger is. When do you feel your body's like shrunk completely? You just don't want to come out. Like if there was possibility of hiding inside the blanket, you would just hide. So what's stopping you? What is the fear? Fear of being seen? Fear if people see me? Fear if people see me, they will judge me? Kanika relates to what you shared, Nejal. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly.
Yeah, thank you for correcting me there, because I didn't mean to say that. What I meant to say was, having to have live for a child to live in two separate houses, like going to a grandparent's house and going to your parents' house, so something like that, something similar, right? So I didn't mean that. So I'm apologizing for that.
Please don't, please don't. I'm just sharing.
Just to add, for me, I mean, what I can relate to is she's saying that I'm not able to understand what to let go and how to let go. So for me, also, it's a very big question, letting go. I mean, you can always forget things that has happened, or maybe you can say that you can always say, okay, somebody did this, it's okay, or I was not able to do at that time, it's okay. Next time, I may not let that happen, but that will leave as a memory in you forever. It is difficult to let go any incident which I personally feel.
Yeah, so that's exactly what we are training our mind to do.
Okay.
So we would have gone through a lot of things. Most often, either we've ignored or we've suppressed it in any way. Like, don't look at it, don't think
Yeah,
about it.
it
It's
keeps
okay.
coming back to the surface. I mean, certain things which are when you are 3 years old, you remember. I can remember things when I was just 2 years old also.
Exactly. Now, what happens is, since we have not healed those parts of ourselves, they will keep repeating in our life in different forms and shapes, right? Now, what is our job in letting go is to let that emotion leave our body, set an intention, and it will leave. So, what I told Natural right now was also the same thing. It's not necessary that you're going to let go everything right now. You're not. And I'm promising that you're not going to let go everything that you brought in for last whatever years of your life. But the point is, you're setting out yourself on that journey that if something comes up, there is a way to let that out, which we probably did not either do earlier or did not know earlier or did not have access to earlier. That's it. It's just as simple. And letting go is an everyday process. I mean, like a tree doesn't go through one time shedding leaves and it's over. It happens every year, right? Every year it goes through a cycle of fall, and then every year it goes through a cycle of getting spring. It's not like one year, one time in tree's life it will be fall, and one time it will be spring. No, it's an every time process, and hence in nature, every day we are letting go something or the other. Did you know that in 7 years our whole skin changes? Every single cell in our body changes. That's a
Yeah.
natural letting go. 7 years our body is actually new. So imagine the amount of emotions that you're storing in your body. If we've healed those, we will actually not have the same body all over again. We will have a new body because we've healed those emotions. That's the point. So what I mean is that if you heal whatever it may be, there are people who are carrying trauma from womb. Forget from 2 years onwards. There's a lot of trauma from womb, the first time when the cell was created. So when there is trauma like that, up till the 7 years.
Those are memories. They are going to stay, isn't it?
Okay, so memories, how will you differentiate what is a trauma and what is not? If there is an emotional charge to it,
Mm-hmm.
it is pain, it is trauma that needs to be healed. If there is no emotional charge to it and you think through, okay, somebody hurt me, yeah, it's okay, I've forgiven that person, I've moved out.
No, I'm not forgiving that person. I'm not forgiven
Exactly,
that person.
exactly. If
Yeah,
you have not,
somebody
then
did that to me. Yeah, somebody did that to me when I was 2 or 3, and I remember that, and I will not, let anybody have the chance to, do that again to me. It's a
exactly.
lesson.
So
And I
that
will also not leave that person.
now what I'm saying is that is pain held in the body.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
that is pain held in the body, right? So that there are few ways you will identify, and that's what you could let go easily. No, you could let go easily is the wrong placement. You could let go and you could ease your body or free your body from that stuff to repeat in your life, rather than being this person who's vigilant that that should not happen in my life. When you heal that trauma, it will automatically not happen in your life again. That's the difference between healing our emotions and why we need to heal them and why we need to let them go. If we are holding on to them, saying we've forgotten and we're not thinking about them, we will end up repeating certain things again and again, or we'll remain very, very cautious. So our safety is always triggered. Again, dealing with our emotions definitely goes back to safety. Most often we don't feel safe, and that's why we don't express, we don't heal, we don't release it. Even at this point, when you're feeling right now saying that you're not ready to let go, you don't feel there's something coming up for you to let go, it's just your mind keeping you safe. Our mind's job is to keep us safe irrespective of whatever may happen. Primary job a mind has is to keep us safe. So if it is not allowing you to access your memories at this point, or your traumatic things that anyway would have been there, it's only keeping you safe. And allow your mind to know that you are safe accessing your memories and healing them. When you let your mind know that I can access. So why is it saving you? Because if you think about it again, you will get hurt. You will again feel the pain. Now your mind doesn't want you to feel the pain. So what your mind is telling you is, yeah, it's okay, it happened, I've forgotten, the things have gone behind. But they really haven't, because there is still that charge in that whatever that happened, and you are still keeping holding from there. Like you said, I'm making sure that things should not repeat, which means you're already holding it. You've not let it go. The idea is to let it go, heal it, so that you don't have to sit like a guard over here, making sure this should not enter. You wouldn't need to do that anymore once that emotion has been healed. And that's the only journey we are talking about here. So why your mind is not allowing you to access certain things is because it's keeping you safe right now. So trust it. Whenever you feel safe in your heart and body, it will show up. And that's what I told Nachal also. And I think she was looking to ask something right now. I saw your hand raised. No? Okay. Yeah. Yep. So that's that. And so fears. Did you guys get some fears out there? And the interesting point is, when we talk about trauma, people feel that trauma is somebody to have big things, like, somebody should have hit you, somebody should have really abused you. Trauma can be from a small thing that I asked my parent for a pencil and they said, we will not get you a pencil. That this is how small traumas can be. It doesn't have to be really those big boulder stuff to have happened in people's life. And why we don't access those memories is precisely because we feel that does not classify as pain and trauma. So like, yeah, it just happened. My parent didn't buy me a pencil, but how much of pain and hurt you're holding in your body for that is trauma. That's, and this is a discussion that will keep going on, but I'm just trying to say that anything which is a fear for you, if you feel asking for love is a fear for you, asking for any kind of gifts is a fear for you, receiving is a gift. When somebody gives you a gift, you're like, oh my god, why did they give me a gift? Then that's fear for you. So then write it down. So, and then we have 3 more emotions to move through, and then we'll start healing all of this. So let's get to healing quickly. Okay.
So what you're trying to say, if I'm wrong, do correct me. Is this something like you're just giving intention to that incident in the past, and then we heal that? So
Yeah.
it's intention from the mind, right? Okay. So do we have to meditate on that, or how is it? How
We're just
does it
moving
go
there.
about?
We're just moving there. We're doing
Okay.
everything. So whatever is surface for you today, we'll release it today itself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm not going to leave you.
Thanks.
I'm not going to leave you alone with this stuff.
So how much more time? Because by around 7:30, I need to have the dinner ready on table. So what more? How much more time is this session long?
I
How
think we
long is
will be
this?
able to close at 7:45 dot.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
thanks.
So yeah, 7:30. We still 15 minutes. I think we're lingering. So we'll be able to close. All right. So next emotion is desire. I know that can go really places. Now, desire. What is it about desire that you felt wrong about? You felt, oh my God, desiring this was not right. Okay, I have this desire. I have that desire, and I shouldn't be desiring this, and all of that. Anything related to desire wrongly, which could relate to food, to gadgets, to houses, to cars, to sex, to boys, girls, respectively, whoever is here, to clothes, to holidays, to destinations, anything and everything that you desired and you like, no, no, I mean, desire is wrong, desire is wrong, desire is wrong. Somebody said this to you, you felt it, and stuff like that. Anywhere where your desires felt, this is not it. And we would have heard about desire is the killer of the soul and stuff like that, that comes from our script places. So yeah, anywhere when you felt desire wasn't right for you, next emotion we are talking about is anger. I'm sure each one of us have gotten through anger in different ways. Angry on ourselves, angry on our family, angry on our helpers, angry on our spouses. I'm sure spouse must be the most triggering one in the anger. Angry on our children, angry on our relatives, angry on our neighbors. So much more anger. Angry on government, like, come on, we've all gotten angry on government at some point in time, right? We've all gotten angry on there are no roads and stuff like that going on all over the place. So we've gotten angry on the education system, we've gotten angry on political system, we've gotten angry on our healthcare system. What all have you been angry on? Healthcare system must have been highly triggering. I also anger on the petrol, like the fuel prices, not just petrol, but just overall fuel prices. Where is the government going? Why is this happening? Taxation system, anger on taxation, income tax department, anger on police. What all have you been angry on? So that's anger. And the next emotion we are talking about is pride. Now, pride, when we talk about pride, anybody who's Hindi speaking here would understand that the word as Ghamand. Pride is an inflated sense of our ego. You know, when if say something is this and we increase it to this, that's pride. When it is this and you're talking this, is not pride. When it is this and you increase it to this and you try to kind of inflate it and bring it bigger and you want to prove yourself better, you want to prove that other one is lesser and you are more and stuff like that, that's pride. So anytime that pride has come up for you during this year, when you wanted to prove you were better, when you wanted to prove the other one was less, when you wanted to, like, I am the boss, everybody else is wrong, any such emotions that kind of surfaced for you during this year. So now that we've done that, and I'll need a heads up from all of you to move forward, because from here onwards, we are starting the healing journey of all of this. So I would need a thumbs up to know when you acknowledged and accepted all these emotions of yours. Nikita, I can't see you, so I don't know what's going on. Okay, thank you. That was wrong. Diksha, I can't see you again, so I don't know what's happening. All right, Ganga is right now on the way, so it's okay. I'm sure she's with us right now. Kanika, where are we? Done? Done? Okay, cool. All right, so just take a look at this entire paper that you've been writing on. And how are you feeling looking at it? How are you feeling looking at all of that you've written so far?
Long list.
Yeah, but how's the like, you look at it and you're like, okay, there's some feeling. What's the feeling?
A lot.
A lot. Okay. Okay. Does it feel heavy?
Okay.
Okay.
It is not feeling heavy, but yes, if I can find out, there is a lot here on the paper.
Got it. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. Okay. All right. So if you guys right now, I'm not sure if anybody's sharing, but anybody wants to share what they're feeling when they look at this paper of theirs. Okay, relieved to have put it out there. I'm glad. And I'm so glad, Ganga, huge round of applause for you to be traveling and constantly doing this also. Good. Very happy to see you do that. And okay, so anybody else wants to share how's feeling for them? I think Chirag, you may have to drop out, but okay. Cool. So now we'll just go through a small meditation. You guys can keep your pens and pencils and papers down, relax yourself, and just find the most optimum posture that there is for your body. There is nothing that has a rule. You can lie down, you can sit down, you can just relax. Relax. All you need to do is to relax. All right, so let's do this thing. Okay, so close your eyes and just relax. Like imagine that entire body of yours is like kind of giving up and it's just surrendering, completely surrendering. Like your shoulders are loose, your head, scalp is loose. It's not feeling very tight. Your jaw is very loose. It's just feeling like relaxing. Your shoulders, your thighs, your stomach, your belly area. It's all loose, and your feet are also kind of loose. There's no friction or there's no tightness in any part of your body right now. And now, as you feel all this coming into your body at this point, all the relaxation and the calmness and all the stuff that you did not need anymore in your body is gone out already. It's on that paper and that's out of you. It's already out of your system. Now, let's take a deep breath. So, we breathe in, and when we breathe out, we'll be doing okay. So, let's do that. Let's just do that. Breathe in. 1, 2, 3, breathe in. 1, 2, 3, breathe out. Say it loudly, just like release it. And if you want to expand your arms, do that. Do it one more time. 1, 2, 3, breathe in. 1, 2, 3, breathe out. 1, 2, 3, breathe in. And 1, 2, 3, breathe out. And now just let your arms, your body just fall down. Like, don't fall down, please. Like, it just allow it to release. And now close your eyes and go into your heart. You can put a hand on your heart, both hands on your heart, whatever feels comfortable for you. Whatever feels comfortable for you. Just relax, 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 and get into your heart. Connect with your heart. We are allowing the mind to rest at this time, slowing down our thoughts, slowing down the way mind is working. We are bringing ourselves into our heart, into the love that we hold into our heart. Deep, deep, deep inside our heart, there's just love and only love and nothing else. Go into your heart. And now you see all these things like bubbles or like stones. Whatever you released on the paper, whatever's in your mind right now, you see this as bubbles, as paper, or as stones, or as anything that you're able to see them. And they look maybe dark, maybe gray. And you're looking at them, but they are all outside of you. None of them are bothering you, none of them are disturbing you. They're all outside of you. You're looking at them and you know that these are things that you've put outside of this body, this system, this heart, and they are outside. And as they're outside, you take a look at them, you breathe a sigh of relief that they've left your body. And now in front of you, you start to see some angels coming in. They're bright angels of all different colors: golden, silver, red, green, blue, yellow. So many colors of these angels. These angels have wings. Some have wings. Some have, some are dragon angels. Some are unicorns. Some are just fairies. There are all these angels coming in, and you may want to see the corpus, the identity you identify as God with. Maybe that God figure is in front of you. Any way you want to see them. This universal energy of love, the universal energy of creation, is right in front of you. And what do you see in their hands? They got something in their hands. There is a basket. It's a basket. What do they have in that basket? The basket is shining, golden, silver, sparkling stars. Everything is coming out in that basket. We are so curious what's there in it. And now you take this one by one. All these dark memories, all these dark emotions and feelings that you let out just now. You take them and you put them in that basket. And the moment you put them in the basket, they transmute into love and light and they sparkle out like crackers. Put them one by one, let them go, allow them to be released. One after another, let them go. Maybe the pain, maybe that sorrow, anything, the grief, that anger that you're holding, everything, just see one after another, you're putting them in the basket, and all that happens is sparkling shimmer light, it gets transformed into, and you are happy, jumping in joy, Like that little child you were who would always jump in joy at the sight of a candy. That's how you're jumping right now. You're jumping to see that light. Jumping to see that transformation, that your emotions have just been transmuted to love, to light, to beauty, to blessings, to miracles. And all of this is happening right in front of your eyes, right in front of you. Your angels are all supporting you. You're totally safe, bringing you the feeling of safety in your body right now, in your heart and your mind, bringing you the feeling of protection and bringing you the feeling of love into your heart, into your body, into your mind, into your soul. And know that you're fully safe, know that you're fully loved, know that you're fully protected. Let these things go. Let all of this baggage that you were carrying from anywhere, also from the year 2021, let them go. Let them pass on to this basket and get released. Get released one thing after another, or you want to put all of them out there. Let them get released and notice the beautiful sparkle and the shimmer that you're entering yourself in. And the more you release this, you are right now shining. Your heart is expanding. Your heart is full of light. There's no tunnel anymore. The tunnels disappeared. It's just light. It's only light. Light and light and light. You are love. You are light. You are a blessing. You are a gift. And you are able to see that. And all of the things that was protecting you or saving you from anything, you are free to let them go. And whenever you're ready, you can take a deep breath, allow this feeling to come in, and open your eyes. I will need a moment. Just switch on the light outside, so I'll be back here. Allow me a moment. Okay, I'm back here. If you guys are ready, we can move on to the next step. And let me know when you're ready. Can't see all of you. Okay. How about Chirag, Ganga, Diksha, Nikita? Are you guys with me? All right. So we'll move on to the next step, which is how are you feeling right now? Anybody wants to share how you're feeling?
Good. Light.
Good. Nice. Nice. Good. Let's lighten you furthermore. So what we'll be doing right now is emotional freedom technique. It's basically our meridian points, the acupressure points from which our emotions are stored, and we'll release from there. Okay. And so just you just have to follow what I do. And with muted, you have to say what I say. Saying is important because when you say it, your body releases it, and you follow the sequence that I'm going to be doing right now. Works? Okay. Cool. All right. So our first point that we will be doing tapping on is karate chop. This fight is called karate chop. Either hand is fine. This side, this side. There's no right, no wrong. Okay. So repeat after me and keep doing what I'm doing. Right. So we take these fingers, tap like this. If you feel this way it's tough, then do it this way. Either ways, whichever way you feel comfortable, the idea is to tap this part of your hand. All right. So, and I have some music from the dogs, please ignore that. So, all right, even though, allow me a moment, please. Okay, all right, even though I have all these emotions that are difficult to process, all these memories that I can't seem to forget, all these thoughts that limit me, and all this baggage that I'm holding heavy in my heart, I fully and completely love and accept myself. Even though my mind is trying to keep me safe by not accessing the things that may hurt me, I allow my mind to now release them and know that I fully and completely love and accept myself. And now we'll be moving to the top of the head. I let go of, and it will be the middle, here, middle, on the top. I let go of all these memories, all these emotions that are not serving me anymore. Coming to this point, this in the middle of your eyebrows, or you could do it here on the top of your eyebrows, not here, here. I let go of all the baggage, side of the eye, that is keeping me heavy and down. Under the eye, not this area, it's on the bone over here. That's keeping me away from shining. Under the nose, that's keeping me away from being myself. Under the lips, chin area, be now released from my body, heart, and mind. Now going to this part, which is your collarbone. We have a collarbone here, the soft part here. That's it. I now release this pain from my heart. Then going to the side here, I now release all that is not serving me and allow miracles to enter my life. And now going back to your top of the head, I welcome miracles. On your eyebrow, I'm making space for miracles. Side of the eye, I am a miracle. Under the eye, my life is a miracle. Under the nose, my life is full of miracles. Under the lips, I deserve miracles. And a series on your collarbone, a series of miracles is what my life is. And your heart area, I am expecting miracles every single moment of my life. Going back to the head, top of the head. Miracle is the new way of life in my body, mind, and spirit. And I let go of everything that comes in the way. Take a deep breath and release what's not needed. Shake, 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 shake your body. Completely shake your body. Just shake, 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 release it. And now get up. Now you can get up. Everybody will get up. Okay? And I will just do something very basic. Yeah, whenever everybody is able to get up. Okay. Wait a sec. Okay. Let's go. Now just start moving wherever you are. Start moving wherever you are. So whatever you release right now, so what we've done is we've released it from our heart, we released it from our mind, now we're releasing from our physical body. Moving and releasing it. Alright, so just start moving. Wherever you want, you don't have to be a dancer, you don't have to worry about how you look, how you don't. Feel free and just move. Okay? Just move. Are you able to hear the music? You're able to hear the music?
Yes, yes, yes.
Just move. Keep moving. Softly. Keep moving. Just keep moving. You don't have to copy me. Just whatever comes naturally. Just keep moving. Keep move all that stuff out.
It breaks off in between, Divya. The music is not that clear. Yeah.
I try to increase this. Abhi? Coming?
Much better.
Okay.
It was. Yeah.
All right. So just keep moving. You don't have to have any lyrics. You just have to move. Move your body. You can go in front, forward, anything that comes to your mind feels normal for you, natural for you. Natural for you. one hand like this now, like passing on, like hands, holding hands with each other. So just holding hands and passing your love on. Feel that love and just pass it on. So keep passing it on to anybody here. Whoever wants to grab it, get the love out here. Here, there's some love. Take it from the heart and pass it on. Yeah. Your heart is full of love. Pass it on. So Berry wants to participate. No. Berry also wants to dance with us. Now biscuits done. Oh, biscuits everywhere. Give me some space. Give me some space. How do you feel right now? Give me some space. Give me some space. How do you feel right now? Okay. Oops. Anybody wants to share how do you feel? Okay. Chirag is saying good.
Yeah, okay, good.
Okay. So this helps in expanding our body. Obviously done regularly. It helps in expanding our body in movement, because when we move, otherwise our bodies have become very stiff, right? When we're holding stuff, our bodies become very stiff. We're only doing certain actions, and our body feels comfortable only doing those actions. So when we move like this without a rhythm, without any lyrics, without a typical dancing setup, then our body learns new patterns of movement. Body learns that, okay, I will move this way also. And then the trauma that's stored, which is causing stiffness in any way, gets out of the body. So Ganga couldn't move. You are free to do this. Ganga, anytime just play music and keep moving. All yours. And Nikita, thank you so much. Thank you so much. We are all doing that here, right? So, okay, cool. So this is what our day was about. From where you guys started to where you are now, you feel you've moved somewhere? Good.
I think yes.
Sorry?
I think yes.
Yes? You're still keeping the thing with you. But it's cool. That is Kanika. Okay, so perfect. I'm happy that you guys noticed some changes and stuff. Now, right now, think of the word that you want to define 2022 with. One word in which you would want 2022 to turn out when you look on 31st December 2022. What would be that word that you want to live throughout this year? Okay, Chirag says peaceful. And Ganga says bright and free. Lovely. That music is from the dogs, so it's complimentary. Okay, and now write down somewhere, not on that same paper. Write it somewhere where that you can hold close to yourself. What are the lessons? This word that you wrote for 2022, and also what did you learn from 2021 that you're taking as gifts of 2021?
Can you repeat, please?
What are you taking as learnings and as gifts from 2021 into 2022? And now, when you've written this, both the things, keep this paper around you. You get to see this often so that you continue to create that kind of year for you. This is intention setting. So the other paper that you wrote all these things on, there are few things you can do with it. One is you can tear it to really tiny little pieces where nobody can read it, and you can dump it in your dustbin. The other thing you can do is to burn it safely. And I would say burning is a safe, I usually choose burning. Again, it's a very individual choice, and please make sure you are safe when you're burning it. You're doing it under supervision if needed. So yeah, so just make sure you are safe and the house is safe and everything is safe while you're doing that. And otherwise you could tear it into small pieces. The idea is you poured your heart, your mind into this paper, and you're now letting it go. You've already let it go from the system, but you're letting it go in the physical space. You're allowing it to leave your life. So that's what you do. And if there's any other way you feel you want to put it under the tractor and all of that, those ideas are most welcome. So that's what you would do with the paper where you wrote things which were weighing you down, and the paper on which you've written intention for the next year, and you've written the summary or the lessons from 2021, the good things, those you would keep around you so that those will become your intention for the next year, and you will continue to keep seeing it and keep bringing it into your life. And a lot of this will happen subconsciously. You don't have to keep worrying how is this going to happen, it will come around. So that's that. But I must thank all of you that you stuck around for long and you showed up. There are so many people who registered, but only you guys showed up, which is so good. That you're showing up for yourself. This is a promise you're keeping up to yourself. This is already a sign that you're going to have a rocking 2022 because you're showing up for yourself. So it's beautiful. So give yourself a big clap.